Okay, good afternoon everybody and welcome to this media conference to preview tomorrow's World Cup qualifier in Poland, joined here by Gareth Southgate and Jordan Pickford. We'll shortly start with Rob Dorsett from Sky Sports News and then open it up to the floor, so please have your virtual hands raised and ready to ask questions. Rob, if you want to get us underway.
Thanks, Andy. Gareth, with the issues still around coronavirus and with this international meeting coming so early in the season, I just wonder where you're sitting right now with 2 4-0 wins, 2 clean sheets. Struggling a bit.
Sorry, just a reminder, can everybody remain on mute, please?
Sorry, Gareth. I was going to say, fully fit squad, no COVID issues, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. I mean, it's been about as good as you could have wished for so far, hasn't it?
Well, it's been a lot more straightforward than last September was, that's for certain. So, look, as a team, we have to recognise that we're in a good moment and team are playing well. A squad of players, any of whom are more than comfortable coming into the side and are playing well when they're coming into the team. But also those moments can be dangerous because if we get any sense of complacency, then we're going into a game where we'll be really challenged, and this is a big opportunity for us. We can really take a positive step towards the World Cup if we win in Warsaw. So it's high level of motivation, but also guarding against any feeling that we're better than we are. We're having a good run of results because we're working hard for each other. Because without the ball, we're very, very disciplined, and that sets the tone for our game.
Do you think this game against Poland in Poland could be a defining one for you for this international meet? If you win it, at least 6 points clear at the top. If you lose it, it's still a lot of work to be done to qualify.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an opportunity, no more, no less. We know that to go away from home and win is not easy, not straightforward. Poland also have high motivation that to be able to top the group, they probably have to win the game. So it's a game for everybody to look forward to.
You changed the entire starting 11 against Andorra. What are your thoughts on team selection for this one? Will you go back to your strongest available team?
Well, you could argue over what is our strongest team, but the team that played in Hungary, obviously we were able to rest those guys after the game. But there is still a huge competition for places in this group, and it's not so straightforward just to say we won that game and this team will go again and give the same level of performance. The challenge of the game in Poland will be different. The rhythm of the game can be different. The problems you get on the night can be different. So we can't just drift into the match. We've got to make sure that our levels of concentration are really high.
Poland ran you close at Wembley in March. You took that late winner from Harry Maguire, and they didn't have a certain Robert Lewandowski in that game. He's back now. How much tougher are they with him in the side?
Well, any team is going to miss a player of that calibre, and we know that he is one of the best finishers in European football. So we've got to prepare for what he brings to the team, but also we know that they have other strong players, and they gave us a really good game at Wembley that night, pushed us right to the end. So yes, we prepare some specifics around Lewandowski, but the whole team we've got to be ready for.
No suggestion at all that what you might face in Warsaw will be any way similar to the difficulties with the crowd in Budapest.
No,
it is likely to be a hostile crowd, isn't it? It's going to be a partisan crowd. So I just wonder what you say to the players in regards to that. Will you say anything to them about maybe not trying to whip up the crowd, being careful with their goal celebrations, anything like that?
No, we've got to approach the game as we did the other night. We know that keeping possession of the ball can be a big factor in managing those situations, but the flow of the game will be different. We're playing a level of an opponent, I think, that is in a better moment. They've won their last 2 games, and they have some good footballers in the team who will keep the ball a little bit better than Hungary were able to on the night against us. So the detail of how we press and how we defend has got to be spot on.
Jordan, if I could ask some to you, mate. you stand with your back to the home support when you go away from home all the time, and I know you've got experience of that, but I just wonder how intimidating it can be, especially with the Hungarian ultras in Budapest. How difficult is it especially when you're not looking at the fans?
Yeah, you've got to be focused. As a goalkeeper, you can hear it a lot more clear, and but like the manager said, it's about us playing our football and silencing them to be playing our football at the best. So yeah, but it is difficult, but it's something I learn and something I concentrate, not to get focused on.
Give us an idea of, as a goalkeeper, how you prepare to face one of the best strikers in world football.
Just work hard all week, do all my stuff with Marge and the other keepers, and just be 100% on the training pitch and lead into the game come match day. Have
you looked specifically at the threat of Robin Lewandowski though, in building up to this one?
Yeah, we know they're a top side, and he's a top striker, so we'll focus on certain areas of that in the goal, and ready for anything really.
Gareth, last one to you if that's okay from me. FIFA have said that they want to have a World Cup every 2 years. It won't surprise you that UEFA don't think much to that idea. What's your view, please?
Well, I spoke about this at the weekend, really. I can see that the game always needs to evolve and be forward-thinking. But also there are some traditions that are very special and maybe are worth protecting. But I think the biggest thing is that it's a welcome decision to discuss the overall calendar, and that includes the demands on the players in particular. But also we don't need to put more into the calendar. If something's going in, something else has got to come out. So that requires all the governing bodies to get together and make sure that calendar gets sorted out. And there's going to be moments where they're going to have to do that because the Winter World Cup affects a lot of that calendar. So they're looking far enough ahead, I think, that there's no reason why any proposals for the future shouldn't combine major club competitions, major international competitions, and everything that it entails.
Thanks, Rob. Next we'll go to Alex Howell, BBC Sport. You able to mute yourself, Alex?
Sorry about that.
All right.
Just wanted to ask a question to Gareth about Raheem Sterling. He's so crucial during the Euros and played well the other night in Hungary. Just how important is he when you go into these big games and like the one you're going into against Poland?
Yeah, he's a top player, and he's got hunger not only to play well and perform well for the team, but to score goals. And that progression in the last couple of years in his game in particular has added so much. So he's I can't speak highly enough of how he's been with us in the last 3 years in particular. We've always had faith in him and kept with him, but that's been easy in the last few years because of the numbers that he's hit and the way he's played for the team.
And one for Jordan, if possible, please. Do you think you're playing the best football of your career at the moment?
Yeah, I think I'm getting older, I'm maturing, a lot more experience as well, so just everything's a learning curve, and for me it's just about improving day to day and just being consistent over a period of time and being the best I can be.
Thanks, Alex. Next we'll go to James Ollie from ESPN.
Hi to you both. Firstly, Gareth, are there any fitness doubts? Is everybody available for tomorrow?
There's only Tyrone Mings who picked a second yellow card up in the game at the weekend, but everybody else is good.
Right, and just looking ahead a little, Cristiano Ronaldo's return to United has generated a lot of excitement, and I just wondered what knock-on effect you thought that might have for your England squad. Is there a concern he might restrict game time for Marcus Greenwood and maybe Rashford as well, or is that outweighed by those players training with him on a daily basis and also the rest of his squad playing against someone like Ronaldo in the Premier League every week?
I think the league is full of outstanding players, so it's the players are used to that level of competition every week, which is fantastic for them. We just have to see what happens at Manchester United. That's for Ollie to decide, and manage his squad. And we always have to, at every club, pick up from those club selections and how that affects fitness and form and everything else. So it's not an unusual situation for us, and we'll just have to see how that all plays out, really.
Thanks, James. Next, we'll take one from Paul McNamara.
Hey, Gareth, hi.
Hi, Paul.
Jordan spoke there about how he's matured over the recent period. You've known him for a long time now. How has his role evolved in the squad in the past 4 years since you first called him into the senior England team? And he's still only 27, so how do you envisage it evolving again in the years to come?
Yeah, I think that we've always had belief in his abilities as a goalkeeper. I think that's been questioned externally but never internally, and his performances have always warranted that faith. There's the goalkeeping ability of keeping the ball out of the net, and then there's his ability with his feet, which is so important in the modern game. And he's got a fantastic range of passing, and the way that we want to play, that is very, very important. So I think there's always room in everybody's games to continue learning, and I think the way in the last 6 months, especially, his calmness in the matches has been a real standout and a progression. As I say, that's never been an issue in our games, but I think generally across the board, I think he's noticed that that's an area that he's paid attention to, and he's certainly seen the rewards of that in his performances.
Thanks, Paul. Next, we'll go to Scott Wilson, the Northern Echo.
Just on the back of that, to Jordan, really. I mean, Jordan, ever since you came through, you've kind of always been renowned as a good shot stopper, but you say that you feel you're playing your best football now. To what extent do you feel you've improved your game in terms of distributing the ball and sparking attacks, and how important do you feel that is both for your club side and obviously for your country?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is decision making, making the right pass at the right time, if it's a counter-attack or whether I need to take the sting out of the game and give the lads a breather. So for me, I think I've always felt like I've been good at distributing the ball, just doing it at the right time and looking after the lads, because realistically, if I got the ball in the hands, I'm in charge of the ball and I need to manage the game. So I think that's what I've improved on most.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be any further hands raised, so I think, one last one. We'll finish with Matt Reed from World Soccer Magazine.
Hello. So this is kind of this relates a little bit to a couple of things that you said following the match, Gareth. We've spoken repeatedly about character, personality, and maturity in the players that you select in the past, and seeing the team as being first rather than the achievements of the individual. Now, Jack Grealish and Declan Rice had a response to the baiting that had taken place from the Hungary fans the other day. And we've seen similar with some of the younger and less experienced players in the past. Would you like to make a point about the importance of maturity and how we respond to moments like that?
I think we spoke about that after the game the other day, in terms of there's always in particular away from home, there's a need to have strong courage in the way that you're going to play, and to be able to stand up and accept that challenge. And then there's a balance of not inflaming situations that can give the home crowd something to live off and get behind the team even more. At the moment when perhaps you're in control of those situations. So that's a balance. That's experience. And we haven't had games in front of crowds for so long that that's probably a dynamic that we haven't been thinking about or talking about. But our players know, they know they're aware, and I'm sure they'll manage that no problem.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.